Big one, rivalry one, fun one. Purdue on the road in Assembly Hall. Cart, you and I hit the road last year. We went to 10 different Big Ten venues. We were all around this conference. We went to Mackey Arena. We went to Assembly Hall. I think those were two of our favorite stops on this tour. I think we said Mackey Arena was the toughest place to play. I think we said Assembly Hall was the only one that felt like a religious experience. Do you still stand by
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. You hear the classic and it means more in Indiana thing. You feel that in Bloomington. I love the energy in Bloomington and Assembly Hall was one that I highly recommend everyone experiencing. Obviously, we talked about Mackey and how special that place is, the loudness of it, everything about that. But let's make it very clear. Assembly Hall is a tough ass place to play, especially when the team's good, which this year hasn't been the best. But anytime you're playing Indiana at Assembly Hall with the Indiana fans in Bloomington, like that, it's going to be a crazy environment. And you know for a fact they could be 0-18 right now. They are going to show up and be loud, proud, and be letting the Purdue faithful have it. Because this is a massive rivalry.
Yep. We saw this last year. Now, Indiana was a much better basketball team last year, but needs to be stated, Purdue was the best team in the country for much of last season. Indiana 2-0 against Purdue last year. Now, both of those games were interesting games. We could go back through and talk the plays from each of them. We could go back through and talk individual performances. Two of the biggest names, in fact, the two biggest names in those games from the Indiana perspective are no longer on this team. Trace Jackson Davis, Jalen Hood-Schifino. I don't know if Purdue fans would admit this or not. I think they probably would because Purdue fans in general, very rational when it comes to talking basketball. I very rarely disagree with Purdue fans on things. With that said, I think they're very happy that neither of those guys are in this game. And I think they would probably admit that. But this is still a really interesting matchup for me because Indiana's biggest strengths are things that could give Zach Edey some issues. Khalil Ware is a very good shot blocker. Like, he's one of the better rim protector block guys that we have in this conference. Malik Reneau has really upped his game offensively, defensively, all of it. Like, they've got multiple guys. They've got 10 fouls to give between those two. They've got Sparks off the bench who can give you foul. Like, they have dudes they can throw at Zach Edey, depending on how Mike Woodson wants to guard him, that could theoretically give Purdue's best player some problems.
Yeah, 100%. And look, this game to me falls in the category of it's because it's such a rivalry, despite the players and despite maybe the records, talent level, whatever you want to say. This is a game that people are going to get up for and people are going to give themselves good games. And this is also a game that I think we here at Sleepers are big on, like, legacy games. Who cares that Xavier Johnson punched someone in the nuts 2 games ago? If he comes out here and has a classic game and wins at Assembly Hall beating Purdue, he will never ever pay for a drink in Bloomington ever again. Like, that's that, or pay for an Uber based on his previous history. Like, he will be a special, like, have a legacy moment. So, you know, is there a player on Indiana right now who I think would, like, want to have a legacy moment? I think that could be the case. Like, I could easily see Malik Reneau having a legacy type game in this game. Will that lead to a win? I don't necessarily know. But the biggest storyline for me, besides the legacy point, is we talked about how coming off that loss at Nebraska, which was obviously 2 games ago for Purdue, is that they needed to maybe not let, quote unquote, demons from last season sneak in. One of those demons was the fact that they were a really good basketball team and they lost to their rival twice. Like, that happened. So them being able to go into Assembly and prevent a storming of the court and go on the road and win in the Big Ten, where they are 12-10. This junior senior class is 12-10 as road games, and go beat your rival and, quote unquote, exercise some demons. I think it would go a long way for Purdue. And it's an opportunity, it's a moment for them, and it's whether they want to seize it or not.
Yeah, it's a rather large demon to take your word. Like last year, Indiana winning both these games was a big deal. Like it was a very big deal. And Purdue ended up it didn't prevent them from winning any of their goals in the regular season and in the Big Ten tournament. Like they still hung some banners, but it absolutely like was surprising at the time the way these games went down. I mean, you talk legacy. Hood Schifino was the legacy guy. He had 35 points in Indiana's win over Purdue at Mackey last year. A freshman guard played 40 minutes, had 35 points. Like that type of stuff can be defined and be the reason guys win or lose these games. Now, some important things to note from me here. Last year in the Mackey Arena game, Purdue shot 5 for 23 from 3-point range. They end up losing that game, as we mentioned. In the game before that at Assembly Hall, Purdue shot 6 for 18 from 3. Low on attempts in that one. Just bad, in my opinion, at shooting for both of those games. In general, Purdue's story for most of their losses last year was, well, they didn't make shots from outside. This year, they're up to 9th in the country from 3-point range, shooting 40% as a team from 3-point range on the season. We talked about Heidi. We talked about Gillis. They're both shooting above 50%. They got shooters this year. And when you look at what Indiana is good at defensively, it is protecting the rim. It's 2-point range. Indiana gives up a bunch of 3-point attempts. Like they're 314th in the country in preventing 3-point attempts. And Purdue's going to make them. Like this is a good shooting team this year. So to me, that's the difference when we're talking about like what's changed. Other than Indiana's best 2 players are gone, it's like, well, Purdue got a lot better in the one area Indiana's defense can be exploited in.
Yeah, 100%. And because they have so many guys that can actually shoot the three at a great clip, it gives them a little bit of leeway. Like let's say Fletcher Lawyer's off or one guy is off. I hate that I brought up Fletcher. That's going to feed into the narrative. Play my dog Fletcher, all right? Let him. He'll hit some for you. But it's just it gives them the luxury of having different guys step up and knock down shots and expose, like you said, a defensive weakness of this Indiana team. And it could also go a long way if they hit some threes early and get out to an early lead and don't even let Indiana really hang around, or at least get the confidence going. I think that's a major factor for them. And look, last year that was Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer's first time being a part of that rivalry, and obviously didn't go their way. There's definitely part of them that wants to go into Assembly and beat this team. Being Indiana kids, going 0-2 last season, obviously a couple Indiana kids on this Purdue team. It's going to be a dogfight, but I think that Purdue is tough enough and the better team, and they should have the ability to go on the road and win this game. And I know I don't want to skip to the prediction portion, but I do think that Purdue wins this basketball game.
Okay. They are 10-point underdogs according to Vegas. Purdue is 10-point favorites according to Vegas. 11-point favorites according to KenPom. I believe Purdue is going to have to make shots to win this game. That sounds simple and to the point, but they have to for a variety of different reasons. It's Assembly Hall, man. Like I don't want to downplay Assembly Hall. No matter how we feel about Indiana this year, they've been legitimately really good at home. Like, go through their games at home. Let me just run through their latest home games this year, Cart. 12-point win over Minnesota. They covered a 4.5-point spread. 6-point win over Ohio State. They covered a 1-point spread. 13-point win over Kennesaw. They cover the spread. 17-point win over Northern Alabama. Cover the spread. The Moorhead one was bad, obviously. 1-point game, did not cover. They covered against Kansas at home. Like, they've constantly covered at home. Constantly this whole season. So their best performances always come.
Hang the banner.
Well, right. It doesn't mean a thing other than for my bets, it might mean something. But like, I just think there's pretty clear like voodoo indications here of like this place is legitimately tough for teams to play at. And you add the mental component of Purdue's last season results there. Let me add this component for you. I'm convinced this Purdue season is following the exact same script as last season. Exactly the same. And I'm not saying that to say March is going to end the same. Not saying that. But if Purdue was to come into Assembly Hall and steamroll Indiana, that would be the only thing this year that has happened that is not identical to last season. They were
Right.
perfect in the non-con both seasons. They lost at Northwestern both seasons. They struggled against Nebraska at Nebraska both. What has happened that's different? I know the personnel's different and things are different, but the results have been identical. And this is the first big test for me where it's is this going to really be the same or not? Because this Indiana team did get a lot worse. On paper, Purdue should win this game comfortably as long as you go on the road and show up. But that's easier said than done at Assembly Hall. And I'd be lying to you if I said, the fact that everything's been the same isn't hanging over my head in how I view this game.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of comments that are like, "Oh, the world is crashing every time Purdue loses" or something like that. And it's not really the case. It's just that when you are the best team in the country, when you're the number one team in the country, when you lose basketball games, it is kind of like the world's crashing down. Like, it's not, but it is, because you are that great of a basketball team. You have that great of a player in Zach Edey and other players on this basketball team, that when you do lose games, it's gonna be, there's gonna be a narrative. There's gonna be conversations about it. So look, this is one where, like I said, there needs to be some quote unquote demons exercised, and they have a moment to quiet a lot of chatter that is going around the number one, or I think currently number two team in the country. So I think it's a big opportunity for them. I think I'm feeling a Fletcher Lawyer game. Like, I'm feeling a Fletcher Lawyer big game Fletch at Indiana. It's like 25 plus points.
I would love to see that. Just want to go through the guys, the big names on this one, because I don't even think we've mentioned this. Edey was phenomenal last year in both the losses. It was not a Zach Edey problem. It was other guys. At Assembly Hall last year, Braden Smith, 4 points, 1 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 6 assists. Pretty bad Braden Smith game. Fletcher Lawyer, 12 points, 2 assists, 2 turnovers in 31 minutes. He was 1 for 6 from 3 in that game. And then I want to find the other one quickly. At Mackey, Braden Smith, 6 points, 2 for 11 from the floor, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Fletcher Lawyer, 14 points. He was 4 for 12 from the floor with 3 turnovers. So Braden Smith has not had a good game against Indiana.
Hey, and you know what? Because of that, we had to look at the offseason list where Xavier Johnson was rated above Braden Smith, because Xavier Johnson had Braden Smith in hell 2 times.
To be clear, Xavier Johnson did not play against Purdue and Mackey, and I don't believe he did at Assembly Hall either. He did not. So it was Jalen Hood-Schifino who had him in hell.
Not even gonna ask you to cut this. That's just part of podcasting. Part of podcasting with me. I'm gonna make those mistakes. You just got to play through them. I'm somewhat like Braden Smith.
Yeah, you just made a Braden Smith at Assembly Hall right there.
I did, and that has me feeling awful about my Purdue.
Okay, here's the good news for Braden. Jalen Hood-Schifino is in Los Angeles.
that is massive.
That's a really big win here.
I like that angle. That should have been where I went.
Do you think that Gabe Cupps is going to ask for a jersey swap with Braden after this game?
No, I think you need a straight cardio for cardio swap. Like, I need Ethan Morton and Gabe Cupps at half court.
See, I think Gabe Cupps is going to pull up to Braden after the game, try to hit him with the side dap, do the Tua, hey man, can we swap? And then Braden's gonna be like, nah, bro, I'll send you one. It's okay.
And then it's gonna be on Indiana's social media page, the passing of the torch or something like that, the passing of the freshman point guard, or some dumb caption,
something like that. Yeah. The only thing I feel confident in predicting in this game is that Purdue's social media team is going to have a real fire graphic ready, whether they win or lose. Because that number 2 in the country graphic hit crazy today. Was really It's really special. Okay. All right. I think that leads us to our prediction. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I have one other little game I want to do with you quickly. I want to go up and down each team's key rotation. I want you to tell me whether or not you trust this player in this game. Because
Okay.
trust is a big thing with Purdue. Trust was a big thing with a lot of the Indiana players, both last year and this season. And for the record, we both would have said after seeing Hood Schifino in person once, even before he started playing well, that dude's a gamer. He's a big game guy. We'll die with him. Like we could see it, right?
Yeah. Oh God, I hate playing the trust game with Purdue people because we play the trust game and like if we don't trust them, we think they suck.
Well, there's a lot of new elements here, right? We have Lance Jones, a boomer bust introduction, like a chaotic element added to this rivalry. We have Khalil Ware. Who knows what to expect from Khalil Ware in this game? We have Mackenzie Mbako. Who knows? Like there's a lot of variables of do you trust this guy in this big rivalry game element to show up, yes or no? So let's just go through the big names. Zach Edey. Do you trust to get the best of Zach Edey in this game?
Yes.
I do too. Braden Smith.
No.
I don't either, and I hate that I have to say that, but until I see it from Braden in the biggest moments of their season, I'm a little bit terrified of that. Maybe a lot of bit terrified of that. Lance Jones.
Yes.
Ooh, elaborate. I'm shocked by this.
I actually do trust Lance Jones. I don't think that he'll get caught. I don't think he'll get like caught up or fold in the moment necessarily. Like he might not shoot well. I feel like I'm a Purdue fan right now. Like he might not shoot well. He might not even play well. I don't think he'll fold in the moment though. That's the thing.
Okay. I think you're right. I think there's something about him mentality-wise that is important in this game, no matter if he's hot or cold. That's
Yeah.
big. That's notable. Fletcher Lawyer.
No.
I'm opposite you here. I do trust Fletch. And you just picked the big Fletch game.
I did, but Fletch and Braden go into the same category as I got to see it because I saw it 2 times last year and there was nothing. So I need to see it before I trust.
See, I think Fletch was the second best player for Purdue in both those games. I trust Fletch. I believe in him in this spot. Just other quick ones here. TKR.
No.
I think this could be a TKR game. Indiana goes two bigs. TKR defensively works on Renew better than anyone. And TKR's biggest moment of the year was their biggest game of the year thus far against Illinois.
Now you talk me into it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm in on TKR. Mason Gillis.
Yes.
I trust Mason Gillis too. Miles Colvin.
No.
No. And Cam Heide.
Also no.
I'm going no on Heide too, which feels crazy, but I think Assembly Hall first time for Heide is a big spot for him.
Yeah, true.
And I think if Payne tries to get cute with like 20 Heide minutes here, it's going to be like, ugh, maybe he has a game swinging play in a negative way.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Indiana side of this, I want to do the same thing. Malik Renew.
Yes.
He's been too good. I think you have to trust him, but I don't think it'll be the Renew legacy game because I think that's coming 2 years from now, not this year.
Yeah.
Khalil Ware.
Actually, yes.
Explain that one.
I kind of just trust him to go out there and be 7 foot and athletic and to be there.
See, I don't think I could trust Khalil Ware less in this spot. With that said, if Khalil Ware hits a 3 early with Zach Edey guarding him, all bets are off. Like if his first shot goes in, I think we could see a totally different game and different Ware. Mackenzie Mbako.
No.
That's a no for me, dog. Trey Galloway.
Yes.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
I'm playing the he's been here. This is him. He's at Assembly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life or death. I like that angle, but I don't trust Trey Galloway because I think he's a worse player than all of Purdue's wings. Final one for me, and this speaks to Indiana's roster. The 5th player on the list is Gabe Cupps.
No.
Is it weird that I might trust Gabe Cupps this game?
Oh God.
At home?
No.
What if there's a Gabe Cupps moment, Cart?
What is it?
What if Gabe Cupps hits like 2 threes in transition back to back and Braden Smith has 0 points and 3 turnovers?
if there is a Gabe Cupps moment, it's going to be a Gabe Cupps 3 that he hits, and then immediate 10-second violation by him guarding Braden Smith full court or making Braden Smith travel or call a timeout.
I just want to
Legacy
know.
moment. Legacy moment that will earn him a top 25 spot on Assembly Call's top 25 list next year.
Yeah, or a charge taken or something. Yeah, he's going to show up 7th on the Big Ten's best players list next year if he takes a charge in this game. Hilarious thing for me on KenPom, you go through like the different roles assigned to guys. You've got like major contributors, significant contributors, role players. It's all defined by how much usage you have. Gabe Cupps is defined as nearly invisible, and Gabe
Is that
Cupps.
is that actually a thing?
It's actually a thing, and Gabe Cupps like starts for this team a lot. he's nearly invisible. It's so funny to me.
That's savage, Moms.
It's crazy. Palms is spicy. All right, this leads us to our prediction portion of this. We're both very excited for this game. I can't wait to watch this and talk it with you. Like you said, Indiana plus 10, home dog, 10-point home dog. You know the phrase card. Home dogs are wolves. What's the bet? What's the prediction?
I think Purdue wins this game by 15 points. I think they cover.
Is it like a coast to coast easy win, or is it like it gets to 15 late after being a competitive game?
I think it gets to 15 late.
Okay. Oh man, I am in a weird spot here. I'm taking Indiana to cover. I feel pretty good about that. I think Assembly Hall voodoo is that real. And I think between Ware and Renew, they have some stuff in the front court that they can't stop Zach Edey, but they can at least make it tough enough. It's going to come down to Purdue's shooters. I do trust Purdue's shooters. I don't know if I trust Purdue's shooters in Assembly Hall. Because I've seen really good shooters not shoot well in Assembly Hall in a rivalry game in a big spot. I'm going to take Indiana to cover. Oh man, I don't want to get clowned, Cart.
Oh God.
I don't want to
do it. Don't do it, Greg.
I don't want to get clowned, but
don't do it. No. No. If you're even thinking about it, no.
we're supposed to speak from the heart, right, Cart?
Yes, we are. Don't you do it though.
We're supposed to say what we believe. Like we're supposed to make predictions based on what we think is going to happen.
Look, think of Gabe Cupps starts. Their coach is Mike Woodson. Does Mike Woodson own paint? Wait a minute. Does Mike Woodson own paint?
Taking Indiana to win the game.
God, Greg. Why?
I think they're winning this game.
Great. That's exactly what we need.
I don't feel good about it at all, man. I don't. But there's demons. There's demons. It's just demons. What do you want from it? It's demons. That's all this is. There's no logical explanation for this other than demons. And
Demons.
I believe in demons, man.
Demons.
I see demons.
I have demons.
Have you ever had night terrors, Cart? That's what I feel right now.
Awful.
I can't believe I just predicted that. I have 24 hours to actually like process what I just did.
Can't wait.
Oh no. You know what's actually going to happen? Purdue's going to win by like 38, and this is going to get clipped and sent to me by so many different people. Shit. But also full circle. I picked Indiana to miss the tournament, and if Indiana wins this game, they're going to make the tournament.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a whole other factor too. Like Indiana needs this.
Other factor, Purdue needs this. Purdue can't fall 3 games behind Wisconsin right now. That can't happen.
That's facts.
What'd you say early in the year, though, before the season started? You think Purdue might not care about the regular season as much?
I did say that, but I don't know if I can keep on with that, though. That's the thing.
I mean, starting 3-3 in Big Ten play would be a pretty good sign that, like,
that'd be true.
4-3. Sorry, they're 4-2 right now.
Actually, no, Purdue by 20.
I just picked Indiana to beat Purdue. All right, we'll be back for the recap.
Hey, how you don't feel good about it?
I feel so bad about it, but like, this is like, it's not a bit though, Cart. Like, it's not like my heart of hearts says demons win this basketball game. Like, the player of the game is the demon. That's it.
All right, guy, when you hear this, we need a graphic prepared in preparation for they win. Just a demon in candy stripe pants.
I just feel like Braden's gonna dribble the ball up court and see Jalen Hood-Schifino's ghost courtside. And like,
Wait, is Hood-Schifino showing up to this game?
hmm,
I
probably
need
not.
to know that. I need to look at the Lakers or the South Bay Lakers schedule.
Probably not. Is Xavier Johnson playing? He's playing, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I kind of want to pick Purdue. All right, we'll be here for the recap.